host again tonight, playing Tiny Supers again. I believe this will be our third game of Tiny Supers, doing these speed shots with one or two players. Tonight we have two players with their superheroes. This adventure is going to be called Pump You Up. We're in some large city that doesn't really matter the name, but a big city where superheroes and supervillains are pretty common. The public knows about them. They may not know their private identity, but they do know of these supers and the villains. And the storyline for tonight is word has reached our two superheroes. This has really not been out in the news because of the top secret levels of the actual product, but evidently a large shipment of synthetic adrenaline has been stolen from Wilson Labs. This was some type of special synthetic adrenaline that was made and was being shipped to the government for usage by the military in wartime. And like I say, this is not a common public knowledge thing. So is pretty concerned about this shipment that has come up missing, and nobody knows how or where it's going to. But of course, stories are getting around to our superheroes. It's probably a band of villains that have stolen this and are going to use it for very nefarious purposes. So let's see if they can locate the culprits and secure the product and return it back either to the government or to Wilson Labs. Crystal, we'll start out with you. If you can tell me about your superhero today.
I'm playing a character. His actual name is Rupert Sanderson. He's convinced that his parents must have hated him for giving him the name Rupert. So when he was younger, he used to always introduce himself as Richard Sanderson. He actually never met his parents. He grew up in the foster care system, always in and out of homes. And until the time he was about 15 or 16, he ended up with the Brown family, which is where he met his now best friend, Kyle Brown. Kai, who is also a hero. Um, uh, Rupert and his friends went camping one evening, as they love to do. They have a little group that they always go camping together. They happened upon this cave where there were four ancient sleeping elementals that bestowed each of them with powers of the elements. Richard here ended up with the power of fire. And so the newspapers and everything that have sensationalized him have ended up naming him Heat Stroke. So now his other names don't even matter. He loves being called Heat Stroke, and that's just now what he goes by. He's 19 years old, is currently attending college as a business, doing business studies, but he doesn't take it very seriously. He spends most of his day usually like working out and practicing mixed martial arts, and then the nights he usually spends partying. If he's not doing that, he's out fighting, bad guys or whatever. He doesn't really care necessarily, like they're bad guys, quote unquote. He would be a vigilante, but being part of like the hero force in the city or whatever, just allows him to have alerts whenever people need to be beat up. So now that he's gotten this alert about these adrenalines that have been missing, Heat Stroke is very interested in that, because that sounds like something that could give you a lot of energy, maybe help you, go that extra mile when you're trying to, crunch that last weight and everything. So this has been enough to get his attention, and he's decided to take that case. So he'll text in, oh yeah, Heat Stroke has got that.
All right, perfect. As Heat Stroke's preparing and getting ready to handle that, we will go to you, Rush, if you want to tell us about your hero.
So I'm going to be playing, and unfortunately I don't have a good picture for what I had envisioned, but I'll be playing John Skipper, who was basically just your run-of-the-mill average Joe. Worked in a just worked in a downtown warehouse. Wasn't really exposed to anything that he knows of that would have caused anything, but or caused any kind of mutations in him. But he went out with the guys to an old Irish bar, had a night of drinking, and just went to bed that night. Buzzed good. Woke up the next day and doesn't know if it was something in his drink or whatever, but discovered that if he concentrated, he could sort of blink out of one spot and into another, essentially just kind of teleporting. If he thought about it, he could just kind of boop, 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 boop around the room. A couple days later, went back down to the bar again with the fellas. Now he's kind of stressed out, a little wigged out about this new power, doesn't want to tell anybody, ends up getting in a fight, and discovered that he could actually takes a swing, misses, and a blast of energy came out of his fists, and it damn near killed a guy. So he kind of run off. So he's discovered on his own that he's got these powers, but he's deep down, he's a good guy. He wants to use them for good. So he's sort of like a new kid on the block with his superpowers. Doesn't really understand them. Isn't really affiliated with anybody. Probably ran into heat stroke somewhere. But he, basically just got him a black, from watching superhero shows on TV, just got him a black bodysuit and went out and bought him a hockey mask and spray painted it black. And it's like, yeah, here's my costume. He doesn't have anybody to make a suit for him or whatever. So he did the best he could to just hide his identity. And pretty much he's been using his powers to fight, low ball criminals and stuff like that. And so now he's discovered this theft and figures that maybe it's his shot to maybe get noticed, not so much for the fame, but to get noticed so that maybe somebody will swing by and give this guy a helping hand and maybe teach him how to do this thing the right way.
All right, that sounds perfect, as we will see if Heat Stroke and Skip Shot can resolve and find out if it really is a team of villains that have taken this synthetic adrenaline made for the military. Y'all probably have some type of headquarters or Avengers Mansion type place that y'all probably meet or whatever. And if it's okay, we'll start y'all out there, as maybe both of y'all are meeting to debrief and all that. How would y'all like to handle maybe this is basically what Wilson Labs is a very large chemical lab, and they do a lot of stuff for medical research, but evidently now it's not known to the public, but evidently they do quite a bit of type of work for the government too. And you would know that there's some type of strain of synthetic adrenaline that's not known or not made for public use that has been they've been working on evidently for military usage, and evidently the first test case of it is gone missing from either Wilson Labs or something. That's pretty much all you know right now. How would y'all like to proceed from maybe trying to go from there?
Well, Skip Shot, of course, like I said, I'm going to assume that he's running the heat stroke and see that their heat stroke is another person with some powers. So he's kind of, I guess, figuring that he's just tagging along or whatever.
Hey, Tony, did you look at the backstory I sent you for heat stroke?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't get the chance to look at it.
Okay. Well, you can look later to know I'm not. Well, I don't know if I sent you the backstory. Fuck. Okay, I'm not making this up. On his backstory, he actually was in a serious relationship recently with, it just as a lab assistant, named Gloria Morin. Gloria Lauren Morin. Anyway, so any chance that this lab assistant maybe worked with?
Uh-oh, Crystal fell out.
It,
It kicked me out a minute ago too, and I'd come right back though.
DQ.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
All right, you're back.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. That's not bad. Is there any chance that Gloria worked with Wilson Labs?
Yeah, that's fine. We can say that she was employed at Wilson Lab. Sure.
Great. So Heat Stroke has an N there. So he's going to call up his ex Gloria. They were together for just a little while, but they broke up because she wanted someone that was more serious about their life. He's just been partying and living at the gym, so she doesn't think he's very serious about his life. So I don't know how things ended for them, but yeah, he'll call her up and see if she can either give him some information or maybe give him access to the grounds where all this went down.
Yeah, I tell you what, how we'll play that out. Roll me just a standard 2d6, and let's see what maybe what knowledge she's going to have.
Nope, I failed.
Yeah, you call her or text her or whatever, and she lets you know that she's heard a little bit of talk about it at work. No one's really discussing what level of product it was. It was just something the government had purchased, and evidently it's went missing. But besides that, she doesn't really know much. She would offer to meet you after work. She said it's probably best that you don't come up there because it's pretty tight on security right now.
Okay. And where did the robbery actually take place? Did it take place at the facility itself, or did it take place like on the road?
You discover, maybe by doing a little bit of research and this top secret and not for public eyes top information that y'all get, you would discover that it appears that it come up missing, that it left Wilson Labs. It was accounted for when it actually left Wilson Labs, was signed out, and was being transported to a government military facility. And when the truck got there, it wasn't on a truck. So it's kind of a mystery per se.
All right. Sounds like an inside job to me. What do you think, Skip Shot?
I mean, yeah, that sounds like it. I can't see it being any other way, really. So I would say, yeah, it does sound like an inside job. Maybe we need to get down there and. Do you think we should question people or just? What?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. We should probably question start by questioning whoever okayed the slips. I mean, they would have had to have checked to make sure that those adrenaline were on the shipment. So if they signed it without, if they signed off, they probably had to be the last people to see it. Or they're lying and they know it wasn't there. Either way, it gives us more information to work with.
Yeah. All right. Well, then that's what I say we do then.
Okay. So yeah, we would like to head down there then. Flash our hero badges around a little bit.
Yeah, when you get to Wilson Labs, and identify yourselves, they take you to a little bit more of a secure conference room, and this lady, you would appear probably maybe just guessing, maybe she's in her mid-30s, maybe late 30s at the most, but very prim and proper dressed. I mean, wearing a very nice fitting dress and high heels, and every hair is in place. And she comes walking in and has a folder and a notepad and stuff. And she says, I recognize both of you from who you are, but what can I do? What can we do for superheroes at the lab here?
Well, we've been put on the case of the missing uh, adrenaline of yours. We want to know who it was that signed that these things were actually on the ship. Because as far as we understand, someone signed that they were on the ship. And
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't. Just to clarify, Crystal, it wouldn't be a ship. It was actually transported, by vehicle to like a.
I just meant like it was on the
Oh,
container.
okay, okay. But after you tell her that, it's like she looks at you and her nose goes up in disgust, like maybe you smell or something, and she throws those papers and she says, "Who gave you personal knowledge of something that is missing from our lab? Where have you heard that at from?"
Uh, I don't know if you live in modern times, but there are heroes now, uh, and we get messages about these kinds of things so that we can solve these kinds of cases. So someone above your pay grade has obviously thought that I'm competent enough to solve this. Now, are you going to help me out, or do I need to call someone to straighten this whole thing out for us, lady?
She looks at you and with this just still that kind of sneer, and then she turns into a sly smile. She says, "Well, smarty pants, you have no idea who you are speaking to. I am the daughter of the founder of Wilson Labs. I am Rachel Wilson. I am probably the third person in charge here. So there's only two people above me that you could speak to, and one of them's not working today, and that would be my father. But anyway, this is being handled by internal investigation here, and it's being handled by the government, the military branch of investigations. I don't see where there's a need for superheroes."
Heat Stroke looks over at Skip Shot and makes like a mouthing, like that little mouthing motion with his hands, and then just kind of starts to make like jerking motions.
And both of y'all, while you're hearing this conversation and seeing her reaction, if you don't have any trait or anything that would give you something maybe for like observing people, just make a 2d6.
I don't have a trait for it, so
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
do it with a 1d6 or
No, just two. You do standard 2d6.
Nope.
Both of y'all failed. Okay.
I
yeah.
got fake eyes.
She closes her papers back up and she says, "Well, if there's nothing further, I don't see any more discussion between any of us. But if we
You
do,
said,
if we do need you, we will contact you."
all right, I'll just go talk to internal investigation then. Thanks for your help. And
She'll get up and walk out the door before you. And as both of you walk out, you notice two guys, kind of beefy, muscular guys standing there in suits. And she says, "Take these, escort them out of the building to make sure they get out the front door, please."
yeah, when they see Heat Stroke, he's gonna like put his finger up and cause just like a small flame to appear on his hand, on the tip of his finger, and then no kind of motion.
They both look at you like it has no effect on them.
Ah. Well, alrighty.
So, what do you think? We should go down to the docks and talk to Internal Revenue or whatever she said.
So he would kind of lean in and basically just be like, "Well, I can tell you this. She's definitely she's awfully defensive.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not like, I mean, one would think they would view us like they would the cops come by, and she's just like, she obviously doesn't. She doesn't want us looking around for some reason. It's a little bit suspicious, if I say so myself.
I'm willing to bet $20 that when we find who's supposed to have signed off on it, her name's going to be on that list.
Yeah, very possible. Very possible.
All right, let's go down to the docks then and talk
Yeah,
to.
the two, what you would probably think would be the security personnel escort y'all down to the front. And as they do, heat stroke, roll me 3d6. You can on this one.
Still no successes. God, I'm.
You stumble out the door, both of you do, and as you do, they close the door. But have a good day, gruffly.
If they put their hands on me,
No.
I
I
get
say
burned.
they open the door, and as y'all kind of stumble out, they just say, "Have a good day."
All right. Heat stroke can fly, so I'm just going to fly over to the place where the investigation is going on.
What about skip shot? Is he going to have to walk?
Yeah.
What about skip shot?
How far away is it?
You would know their warehouse is, probably a block or so from the actual offices. I mean, it's pretty close.
Oh, I can just blink over there, like 2 or 3 blinks, and I should be there.
Oh yeah, you could use your teleport and
Yeah.
there.
I'll just be like running, and all of a sudden I just go like that.
Yeah, as both of you get there, you meet probably an older gentleman, probably in his early 60s, that is out front, and he looks towards both of you. And he says, gentlemen, can I help you with something here?"
Yeah, we've been sent over to investigate the whole disappearance of that shipment thing. I'm heat stroke, by the way. You probably watching Zero Badge.
I mean,
You probably see me in a couple of newspaper articles here and there.
Yeah, as you introduce yourselves, you see a couple of security personnel come out. This older guy, and the older guy looks and he says, "Oh yes, Miss Wilson said to be expecting you." And when he says that, now before you interrupt me, Crystal, wait till you see what he does. He grabs you by the arm, and when he does, you feel something being put in your hand, maybe like a thumb drive or something. He goes, "Gentlemen, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to leave the premises, please."
You ever touch me like that again, and you're going to get.
Sorry, it's
And
free.
he sort of kind of like backs off, and then he like winks and like just like a small flame just kind of like at the guy's feet.
Are you sure you're a superhero, not a supervillain?
You ever touch me like that?
But yeah, if y'all,
Well, I mean, he's just trying to play it off because I mean, like he
No,
normally.
I get it, but it's just funny.
oh yeah, it's funny. That was good. But yeah, if you mosey both of y'all kind of walk off, if you look down, sure enough in your hand, you see that he's put maybe like some type of thumb drive, you would think, for laptop, computer, or whatever to go into to maybe you have no idea, but that's what it appears to be.
You don't happen to be a gadgeteer, do you, Skip Shot? Are you Skip Shot?
No.
Awesome. I don't know any gadgeteers. I only know my friends, really. None of them are gadgeteers either. Unless just whatever it is, it doesn't have encryption on it or whatever. And it kind of shows you the thumb drive.
Oh, well, I mean, it's just a thumb drive. Let's just go find a laptop.
Yeah, I just hope it doesn't have any kind of encryption or anything on it.
Well, I mean, if it does, then we'll look for somebody then.
Good, yeah, good enough. Yeah, so I guess we'll head back towards Heat Stroke will just head towards his dorm or whatever.
Yeah, and once you put the thumb drive in there, it's not encrypted. It starts automatically like putting up files and information, and you see a lot of it's like order forms and invoices and like a general information on synthetic adrenaline, and then you start finding a couple files that are marked internal use only, top secret. Some of them are stamped with government and all that, and you start reading about where that Wilson Labs evidently was working on some type of super synthetic adrenaline for the government to give a military that they basically, if they got involved in wartime on the ground, that this would create, hopefully, would help create some type of super soldiers, that would be able to go and go and go. But you start discovering, you see that the first trial shipment was ready and was being transported by vehicle to one of the local military facilities. And sure enough, you see that it was last signed off by Rachel Wilson. And then you start seeing scattered notes of, that when it reached the truck, reached there, that the shipment was on the truck when it left Wilson Labs, but when it reached the military installation, it wasn't on the truck.
Supposedly on the truck. Like, are they? I mean, like, are there any camera footage or anything that would show it was actually on the truck?
That
Or
would
is it
be,
just-
yeah, that there would not be actually on the information you've been provided by your helper, but anything like that you would know would be probably an internal in Wilson Labs, and at this point would be very hard to access with the way y'all were trying.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So sure enough, that bitch was involved.
Well, I mean, you called it. So, so did I understand you right when you said that anything more that we have to get off this drive would have to be it's encrypted?
No, there's nothing that's really encrypted. Everything starts kind of opening up on its own. Y'all are able to bypass and get information pretty easily.
Well, let's see. I mean, this could have gone so many different ways. It could be that she's planning to use it for personal reasons, in which case we could try following her. But then there's no telling how long we'd have to follow her before she ends up actually going to the stuff. Of course, it could be that another group of villains in the city or whatever have just paid her off to get this stuff themselves.
What time of the day is it?
Oh, we'll say it's midday, probably around lunchtime or just after lunch, we'll say by now.
I mean, I don't know how you guys would feel about it, but we can always just. He just kind of shrugs like he doesn't know whether this is the kind of thing you should be or not, and he kind of reaches back and scratches the back of his head through his little suit. He's like, we could always just try to shake the information out of her or scare it out of her, make her confess, tell us where it is. We can show it to her and tell her that we've got her and that, we know she's involved, and the only way she's going to get out of this, the only way she possibly has to get out of this without going to jail is to tell us where the stuff is so we can go get it.
I don't know. She already predicted the move that we would head over to the lab anyway. This guy, he's probably risked his job, if not his life, to get us this information.
Yeah, but does she know he's the one that gave it to us?
I mean, he was like the dark manager or whatever. So not that big a leap. I'd hate someone to get killed when they actually ended up helping us out.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Don't worry, there'll be plenty of time to kick ass. Someone needing their ass kicked. Always. All right. Well, tell you what. The other place we could go is the military facility, as it left the corporate apparently on board. If it got there and was apparently not there, maybe someone took it from there. We could go and see what their procedures are for checking in vehicles and everything and see if it's all on the up and up.
Yeah, I mean,
my money is still on this bitch, but you never know. Could be that it had something to do with the military. Maybe they didn't want to pay.
I mean, it's possible. I hate to be that guy, but at this particular point, I'm kind of really just I'm letting you kind of take the lead on this one. This whole superhero stuff is pretty new to me, so um, I'm afraid if I'm in charge of making decisions, I'm going to do something stupid.
No, that's part of it. You got and besides, when you end up doing something stupid, it usually means you just get to kick more ass. So, it's a win-win, really. Yeah, let's head on over to the military compound and see if anyone around there knows anything.
All right, sounds good to me. We'll probably have to drive to.
Yeah, y'all make your way to the local military base where the documents would have showed you that this was transported to. Both of y'all make me. You can use advantage. Both of y'all 3d6. Let me know if you pass. Come on, I'm trying to help you guys now.
God damn!
I got one. I got one. Bam.
Nice.
One bam. The bam will get you through, man. Yeah, you once you get there, you see the military holds superheroes in pretty high regard. They take you in through, and you meet with a colonel. And let me just make up a name real quick. I'll put it in chat for you.
Colonel made up name, but Franklin.
Yeah, you meet with Colonel Franklin. And he actually shows you video of the truck coming from Wilson Labs, and everything is videoed. It shows the truck coming into a secure location there at the military base. It shows a group of military personnel that come out. The truck is like very secured type truck. It goes through a bunch of different ways to unlock it. And when they unlock it and look inside, there is no crate of stuff at all. You can just tell by the video, everybody's with this puzzled look, and then more personnel are starting to be called, and you see them eventually show up, and underneath the truck is searched. I mean, it's like a very thorough deal. You can definitely see on the video that once the truck pulled into the military installation, there was no case of synthetic adrenaline in it.
So I would ask the colonel if he can, who was driving the truck, can they give us a complete rundown of exactly like what happened? Like, was the truck stopped at any point? Was there any kind of unplanned stop due to like did they come up on an accident on the road where they had, was there some kind of an accident on the road that made everybody have to stop? Or anything like that? Was there anything that was out of the ordinary from the time they left to the time they arrived?
Yep, and I'm going to put another name in chat. Janet Reeves. He tells you that a Janet Reeves with Wilson Labs and title of a lab supervisor was the person. You can see it's actually a female in the video too. She is the one who actually was the Wilson Lab employee who was driving the truck and made the delivery. And he says there was no military personnel on the truck prior to it entering the installation. And their interview with Janet Reeves provided no details. And she says that, and they checked the time frame, and it pretty much showed that the time she left Wilson Labs for the time for her to arrive there would have been just exactly right. Evidently, she made no stops. She says she made no stops. There were no delays, no detours, or anything.
Okay, that's good. This stuff, is there any specific instructions for how it should be stored? Like, does it need to be kept refrigerated, or any kind of thing like that?
No, the colonel explains to you, and you would have probably seen some documents on that thumb drive itself, maybe just talking about the special kind of adrenaline. But he tells you, there's no special precautions or nothing, that it's supposed to be a high performance synthetic adrenaline, and that there's nothing and no special storage or anything for it at all that he knows of.
Hmm.
All right. Okay. Well, we got a little bit more. All right. Heat stroke is starting to think that maybe everything's coming together a little bit. Yeah, he would like to go talk to Janet himself, but he doesn't want to go to her when she's at work. So, like, is she off at all because of this happening? I'm sure. Like, has she been put under suspension or anything like that?
Roll me 2d6 to see if you've located any of that information in those documents.
Are we talking about the truck driver or the original lady who was a bitch to us?
Janet Reeves, the truck driver, and this time I got
Okay.
2 successes.
Just want to make sure I'm on the right track with you.
You said you did succeed, Crystal. You
Yeah, I
broke
got
up
2 successes this time. Yeah, 2 successes.
Yeah, perfect. You would have seen that she requested 3 days off herself, just so that it really, it's evidently from her. You can read her statement that she made, or interview in her statement with Wilson Labs, where she was, it upset her very bad, But she's doing her job and shows up and this is missing. So she requested 3 days off herself to just recuperate from it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm still like well, let's see if we could look through the interview. Did they ask? Did she actually get to see the shipment before she left, or like was she just put in the truck and told to go?
No, you would have seen her name, her signature. You would have seen her name signed off on the documents too, of when the truck was loaded. That she was a witness to it being loaded on the truck at Wilson Labs.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay. Well then, I kind of trust her. Even though I haven't spoke to her myself or anything. I mean, if at least 2 people, I mean, like how many people signed off that they saw this get loaded onto the truck?
You would have seen Rachel, the founder's daughter, of course. You would have seen Janet Reeves' signature, the lab supervisor and the driver, and you would have seen 2 other signatures of pretty high up personnel of Wilson Labs. There would have been 4 signatures there.
All right, 4 signatures. This had to be on there. There's no way that this was that, and like unless they're all conspiring together, which seems really unlikely. That just seems too unlikely.
Yeah.
So,
So basically, 4 people signed for it to be on the truck. It left with the truck, and then somehow, while en route, it disappeared off the truck.
yeah, I mean, there's so many weird powers going around these days. All right, is the truck still around?
The truck, of course, it was a Wilson Labs, a private owned truck by Wilson Labs, and the colonel would have told you, as far as he knows, it was taken back to Wilson Labs. The government did not detain it or keep it.
Okay. All right, but I mean, they searched it thoroughly and they didn't see anything, right? So.
Yeah, you can see in the video, they brought out a dog team, a canine team, and you can see them search up under the truck, and they gave it a very thorough search. You can tell from the video of the military.
Final question. Could the military get like traffic light, cameras and stuff? Could they have tracked it over like, that kind of thing the whole time to make sure that it was on like route the whole time?
No, he tells you that they don't, but that would be something you'd probably have to check with the transportation, the city transportation or city highway department to see, traffic light cams or anything like that. That it wasn't anything that they would be handling.
Okay. All right, we could do that, but then I feel it's kind of a waste of time. Well, we could check with air traffic and city traffic control, I guess. Air traffic to see if anything was on radar that day that was suspicious. Because my entire thought was that the thing was never on the ship to begin with, but four different people checked it off. I mean, it just seems unlikely that they were all in it together. And then again, if Janet were involved, she could have gotten two supervisors of her own. I mean, not Janet, but the other lady, Rachel or whatever. But I mean,
Rachel,
yeah, but Janet is just a driver. There just seems no reason for Janet to also do this.
I think we should still go question Janet because even though she may not have done it, she might have an idea of who might would have had a reason to do it.
Yeah,
Like
and
the,
they're
the,
also
the daughter chick is obviously, being pretty bitchy. Maybe she's got something against her dad that we wouldn't know about, but maybe the other employees would know about. Maybe she's constantly at odds with somebody. Maybe she owes somebody money. So she may not have done it, but she may know who would have the motive to do it.
also, if anything did happen on the way to there, like any kind of weird bumps or anything, she'd be the one to know about it.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have snuck it off, and she honestly may have had no idea that it happened, but we know that it did. But maybe she'll know. Maybe she'll have a clue as to who might would have wanted to do it.
Yeah, you see, if it did get snuck off, I'm thinking it's still at Wilson Labs. I mean, they have a big warehouse,
Yep.
and it has no special needs for containment. It could be hidden anywhere in there.
Yep. So I say we go talk to her politely
All
and
right, let's,
let her know
let's
we're
start.
trying to help.
All right, so we'll head towards Janet's house.
yeah, y'all leave the military, and the colonel, of course, tells you if you need anything else to contact him directly. He gives you a direct number. And as y'all leave, and start preparing to go to maybe locate Janet's house, make contact with her, you goodness, my mind, heat stroke, you get a text on your phone, and this is what is on there. I'll put it in chat. You get this address, 3219 South Coastline. Be there at 10 p.m. from this unknown number that you've never seen.
Hmm, interesting. What time is it currently?
And you would also know by either maybe just knowledge yourself, or if you pulled up a map, Google Maps, you would see South Coastline appears to be kind of in the downtown district, and it appears to be like probably warehouses or some type of business warehouses or such.
Do we have anybody else back at? Well, first of all, I should say, do you share that?
Yeah. He'll definitely share that with you.
So if we're going back to this like somewhat hideaway type space or whatever, do we know somebody that can take that number and do it and trace the number and see who it belongs to?
That time it wasn't me because I was on Notepad and it just kicked me out.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say it. I just noticed all of a sudden it just popped you out for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would know skip shot that you could, if you take that number and have it traced, it comes back to, I guess the old term used to be burner phones. I mean, it just comes back to untraceable number. It comes back to like one of those apps that you can download a fake number.
No, they still have burner phones. They're still a very real thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's untraceable.
Well, that didn't go where I thought it would. Should have known better.
Yeah, I say we meet them there. Why not?
We got 2 hours.
I mean, if they play with fire, they'll wind up burnt. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
So let's just go ask Janet a few questions first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you find Janet's address and go to its little cozy house, kind of in the not the middle section town, not the middle class, kind of a upper lower class. I mean, nice neighborhood, older neighborhood. You find her little house there. When you get there, there's no cars in the driveway, no cars under the carport. The house appears to be dark. You knock on the door, you get no response.
Is there how exposed is the front door?
About that time, you see a old man next door that's sitting on a porch. He yells over at you and he goes, "You Janet's boyfriend?"
Yes, sir, I am. Have you seen her? She sent me a weird text this morning, and I didn't quite understand it.
Well, she's been sick the past couple of days from work, but she left out about an hour ago, I guess. I don't, I waved at her. I sit out here and drink my Miller Lite every evening, but she left about an hour ago, and she'll probably be back pretty soon. I don't know. She don't never say where she's going.
Yeah, probably just went to the store or whatever. I got a key for the back door. I'll just let myself in back there.
Well, I don't know about that. Now, I don't know you, son. I'd just sit out here and wait on her. You can come over here and drink one of these Miller Tall Boys with me.
Yeah, I kind of like my beer to have flavor. No offense, man. Like I got a key for her back door. I pull out a ring of keys.
Well, like I say, now, boy, I don't want to have to call. What is that, 911? I don't want to call 911 on you now. I don't know who you are, boy. And you seem like a pretty good. You kind of got long hair there, but I don't know. They ain't got nothing to do nowadays. You're probably okay, but you're gonna have to wait on her now. I don't want to have to call. You ever watch that show Cops? I don't want them to coming out here.
It's okay. So I'm like trying to not show my face. So I probably got like a hoodie on so that he doesn't see. But I'm like, don't worry about it, man. We're cool. We'll wait. We'll wait.
Rubs his short red hair and is like long hair.
I don't know, man. He's an old man. He's pretty. But hey, look, I can get in. I just need to be able to look through the window and I can just go in. We don't need a key. We don't even need to open the door. Just go ahead. Go have a beer. Go have a beer with him.
All right, whatever. Okay.
I got this.
Yeah. Heat Truck will walk over with him and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll wait on her for you. You probably just went to the store or whatever. Hit me one of those beers, man.
So
yeah, you get over. We'll go to that first. Then, as you get over at the old man, you can tell you're very up in age, and he's about half lit, and he says, "Well, Janet, she's a sweet girl. She needs a nice guy. I hope you're a nice guy. About the only person that ever comes over here to see her is some man. Now, don't get me wrong. My eyes are not as good as they used to be, but when I see a pretty woman, I know what a pretty woman looks like. And there's some woman comes over here that visits her quite often, driving one of them fancy. I don't know if it's a Mercedes or a Ferrari or." I don't know, any one of them cars, one of them spoiled women that got all that money. That she comes over here and visits Janet quite a bit, but that's about all I've ever seen over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's probably her work acquaintance. What's she look like?
So,
well, she's a very attractive woman, and she's always wearing these. Oh man, she's dressed in these nice dresses and. And if I was about 40 years younger, I'd have to take her out to get a hamburger or something,
Hey, Tony, while you guys do that part right there, I'm going to step away for like 2 or 3 minutes. I got to go help my son with something real quick.
All right, that works.
All right.
Okay. I was just about to let him have it, but okay, yeah. So, yeah. Hamburgers. Women love hamburgers. Tell you what.
He kind of pats. He's not a real overweight guy, but he's of course through age. He kind of pats his stomach and he goes, "Well, they done me pretty good, son. That and man, you always get French fries though, and don't put ketchup on the fries. You put the ketchup in on the side and dip your French fry in there.
Hmm. Yeah, you know what? I'm usually the kind of person to put fries on the ketchup on my fries, but maybe I'll listen to you next time. I'll just put it on the side.
Girls, hey, I'm telling you, girls like that now. And he winks.
Yeah, you put a little bit of cheese on the fries, melt the cheese a little bit. Got cheesy fries, bitches love cheese.
But yeah, now I'm telling you, that woman that comes over, she's in that fancy car, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about cars. I got that old Ford pickup out there, and you see an old Ford pickup parked out to the side of the house, and but she, I don't know. I kind of surprised that Janet. Janet. Don't get me wrong. And Janet's a cute girl, and she dresses pretty nice for where we live at. But I can't imagine her having those highfalutin people. I just can't imagine Janet hanging around them highfalutin people.
Could I pull up a picture of Rachel Wilson on my phone? I mean, she's a slightly famous person, right?
Yeah,
So could Heatstroke pull up a picture of her on his cell phone?
you do that, and he looks at it and he goes, "Well, that looks like that lady." I mean, I ain't, like I say, my eyes ain't as good as they used to be, but that looks pretty close to that lady. She dressed awful nice, didn't she?
Oh yeah, yeah, old work acquaintance. One of her best friends.
Well, that's what it is, and that's like I say, she walks with that kind of stuck up about her. She's better than anybody else. You know what I mean there?
Oh yeah. No, trust me. She acts like it.
Well, I don't know, but she'll come over here and visit Janet, and I don't know how
You
long she
know.
stays, but she stays a little while. They go
You know.
inside, have coffee, I guess.
Yeah. I saw this lady one time. She kind of gave lip to a superhero. I was.
Well, I don't know. Was it that one they call the captain, or well, captain? He's about my age now. He's one of them older guys. He's been around a long time, but man, he can still kick some butt.
Yeah, that guy. I'd hate to run into him in a dark alley. Not that I would be doing any crime myself, being the upstanding citizen that I am and all.
Well, that's what I say. These we got these superheroes around. They do what the 911 people can't do.
Yeah, pretty good system to have in place.
Well, oh, maybe Janet will be back soon. If not, I can always tell her you come by. I'll see her. Well, I don't know. I have to go to bed early. I get up early and cook bacon, and eggs, and pancakes every morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll message her a little later tonight if she doesn't stop by before I finish this Miller here.
Boy, those things are good. They got them on sale down at the Payway. Go get you some while they're on sale this week.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
And they only get the tall boys, what they call them tall boys, those big boys, because you drink about two of them and you'd be going to bed early too.
Yeah, you know it.
Sorry about that.
But yeah,
Um,
you just sit there and BS your way, and we'll jump back to skip shot. You're gonna teleport and phase into the house then?
Yeah, so basically what I have to do is I have to be able to see where I'm going. So as long as I can peek in a window, I can just teleport right to the other side.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. You're able to do that.
So while he's distracting the man, I'll just blink. If I can see through the window, I'll just blink into the house and then I'm good.
Yeah, and you find a fairly for a single as far as she's a single woman. You find a fairly neat house. It's most of the stuff is like I say, kind of the upper lower class. You would think, and she's pretty frugal with her money. I mean, she's a lab supervisor. She probably makes decent money, but you don't you search around however you want to search. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. You don't see any type of work stuff there. You see nothing with Wilson Labs, or you may find some coats with her name on it, and maybe a uniform type stuff. But you search around and you don't find anything out of the ordinary at all. As far as like photos and stuff, you see some photos of her younger with a man and woman, which you would probably think would be her parents.
All right. Remember the old days when you could always check somebody's answering machine before they had cell phones? Shit. All right. Well, I was hoping to see maybe there were signs of a struggle. Maybe she dropped something that had something about where she was going.
Roll me 2d6 as you're looking around, unless you have something will give you advantage on searching.
I do not.
All right.
I got a bam.
Hey, you're almost ready to go back out, because to rescue your friend from the old middle light guy. But you stumble across and you see a small piece of paper on the floor there, kind of close to the front door. And as you unfold it, this is part of it's kind of torn off, but this is what you actually are able to read on it. It's written in handwritten, and you can probably tell it's a female's handwriting.
10 p.m., which is what time we were supposed to meet. Oh, coast. Okay. 10 p.m. And we're supposed to meet somebody at Coastline at 10 p.m. Okay. So I'm going to go out through an obscure window and just looking outside. I'm just going to blink back out the house. Do I have to roll to make that happen, or is I guess that
it's just I'm gonna say it's automatic.
Only in combat or something, I guess. Okay, so then, yeah, I'm gonna walk out, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, are you done with that beer yet?"
Oh yeah, I'm ready, man.
All right, yep. I think we should go right now.
Sounds good.
The old man offers you heat stroke. He tells you and your friend to come back for breakfast one morning, but you got to be there at 7 a.m.
All right, sounds good, man. Yeah, if I'm ever here, visiting Janet at that time, I'll keep that in mind.
So when heat stroke comes,
maybe if y'all keep dating enough, she may let you stay one night, son. And he winks at you.
One could only dream.
So when heat stroke comes over, I show him a piece of paper, and I'll say, piece of paper she dropped on the floor says 10 p.m., which is the same time we're supposed to meet over on Coastline. So it sounds like whatever's going on, somebody's trying to get all of the players together in one spot.
Or she's the one meeting us, maybe. But no, it wouldn't make sense for her to write 10 p.m.
No, because this looks like it was dropped by accident. So I have a feeling that, I don't know, it should be getting pretty close to 10 though. So I think it's time to get the chops up and be ready.
All right. Yeah, I'll do a small flyby of that area first. Let's stop outside of that area where we're supposed to meet them, and I can do a flyby of the area first and see if I can see anything suspicious from the air.
All right, I'll just park outside, and you just let me know, and I'll start blinking over there.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way to 3219 South Coastline and get there, a few minutes as you see it is almost cut it close, but you get there just a few minutes before 10 p.m. And sure enough, it's in the the out of the way downtown district of a bunch of old warehouses and a bunch of old buildings. And heat stroke, you're able to see it. The address goes to a very large warehouse, and it's pretty dark. I mean, there's windows and stuff. There doesn't appear to be any kind of cars parked out front or along the alleyways or anything at all. You don't sense anything yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I will touch down because I guess when I'm flying, I'm probably kind of like Human Torch, like I light myself up, and hopefully skip shot, like maybe we discussed it right before, like he maybe could blink teleport to like the top of a building or something, so he'll be like less noticeable.
Oh yeah, I'm all black, right? So if it's 10 o'clock at night, they won't see shit unless they're looking right at me. But yeah, that's what I plan to do is go blink from rooftop to rooftop because it doesn't say that I have a. It just says I have to be able to see. So I mean, technically, if I can see 600 yards away, I can actually blink over there. But I don't know if that's stretching it a little bit. But going from rooftop to rooftop shouldn't be any issue as long as I can see where I'm trying to go. So.
Yep, that works. And like I say, of course, there's large bay doors for larger trucks to go inside of this warehouse, and your standard, normal door to go into. But if you listen around or look, like I say, it appears to be dark inside this warehouse. You don't hear any kind of noises coming from it.
All right. Can I is there like a lock on the door or anything like that?
You're gonna try like one of the big bay doors, or just a regular walk-in door, the standard door?
I guess I'll look at one of the standard doors first.
You go up to one and put your hand on it and to see what kind of lock mechanism or something's on it. And as you mess with and twist it, the door actually opens up.
Well, that's not usual.
Yeah. All right. I don't know where Skip Shot actually is. So I'll just tap near my eyes or something to let him know, to basically keep a lookout. So he'll eventually blink to me, I'm sure, but I'm going to go in for now.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all would have some type of communication device. I'm sure, like a watch or something. I mean, that's something like that's standard, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll stay on the building right next to it, right in front of all the load and bay doors, and I'll just crouch down on the roof. I mean, like I said, dressed in all black, and with it being nighttime outside, I doubt very seriously anybody's probably going to see me. So I'll just sit there and keep an eye.
As you go in, heat stroke, you go in and make your way through like a little small entranceway, and it goes back and seems to open up into a bigger part of the warehouse. And you see it's probably an old warehouse that's not used, or if it is used, it's very rarely. I mean, you don't see any kind of crates, boxes or anything stacked up. But what you do see is you see a van, a cargo type van parked. You see another smaller car parked there. And then you see this real fancy sports looking car that is probably you would think a BMW or something by looking at it.
Oh, crap. I don't know if you would let me retcon, but I also would have told Skip Shot about the fancy car and would have told him, I pulled up a picture of Rachel, and he said he was pretty sure that it was Rachel he's seen there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that'd be something y'all would have talked about on the way over here. I'm sure what the old man would have said and told you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure. I forgot to actually bring it up, but I would have.
But that's what you see inside the warehouse, and it's not total dark. It appears to be maybe filtered through the roof itself, just some standard skylight type deals. There's a little bit of dim light coming down where you can see okay. I mean, not great, but you can see okay.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so I'm just gonna create a flame in my hand and break the flame up so that I can actually see better.
Yeah, as you move into the warehouse, roll initiative for me, please.
That's 2d6 added together, right?
2d6 together.
Got a 10.
All right. You start I guess you're probably approaching to get up closer to those vehicles, maybe to see anything else about them. I would say, is that right?
Yeah, I'm kind of walking. And where it's dark, like I said, I just light up a flame in my hand. So basically, I have like a torch.
All right. Come walking around one of the corners on further past the vehicles, you see this figure walking out. And you can tell it's a female in this suit, and she's holding these two katanas, and she yells out towards you, and she goes, I have no idea how you got in here or how you found this place or what you know, but I promise you won't be leaving this place tonight. And you recognize the voice, of course, as being Rachel Wilson.
Hmm.
And the katanas start kind of illuminating light, kind of like almost a lightning strikes as they start lighting up. And she starts moving straight towards you. You had a 10, so you can go first.
Okay, so with the torch, like with my hand to light like a torch, I'll just use that my first action to go ahead and blast it towards her, as I technically have like blast level 2 due to my 3rd level fire. It'll do 2 damage if it hits.
All right.
And I got a success. So it'll hit her for 2 points of damage. And
You
because
see,
strike her, the damage I dealt can't be reduced. Or can't be reduced lower than 1 or something, I think.
let me read that because that's going to come into
Striker
play.
says the damage you deal cannot be reduced. Period.
Yeah, but I think that there's supposed to be an hetero where it says that it can't be reduced less than 1.
Yeah, you see as your strike hits her, you can see what she's wearing is like almost like a suit of armor, like almost looks like chainmail armor and stuff. And you see as it hits it, it seems like the suit actually starts absorbing some of the deal. You know, you do damage, or you hear her kind of let out a "ugh," but you can tell maybe part of the suit took part of your charge, or took part of a charge from you.
All right. And for my second action, let's see. It doesn't say that this is an action. I don't know. It says you can summon a shield of fire around yourself. This is the tier 3. And it says you gain tier 1 flight power, and anyone who strikes you with a melee attack takes 1 damage.
Yeah, see, it says up at elemental control active. So active means you would have to use an action to use one of those. If it said passive, it would all naturally be on. But if it's active, you have to actually use an action.
Yep.
Okay, then yeah. So he hits her with that, and then he will flame up and just this huge, like he just becomes a thing of fire.
Yeah, and she moves, and when she starts moving up closer to you now, you can see it's almost like you would recognize it as being some type of superpower where it's just like this ultra speed where she's just like straight on top of you with these 2 katanas. And she is going to strike at you with the first one. She'll miss with the first one. She'll hit you with the second katana. It does 1 point of damage, and then make me a 2d6 save test.
Okay. I failed.
All right, you feel the katana like you would have seen, like I described it, lighting up almost like lightning going up and down the blade of it. And when it strikes into you, it just shocks you so good that on your next turn, everything will be at disadvantage.
Ooh.
Okay.
And she looks at you and she says, I'll make sure the sharks eat every bite of you. Rush, go ahead and roll initiative, and I'll get you in play in just a moment because you can, I'm sure, hear all this going on.
I was going to ask you, was it dark in there? Because if it was, maybe I'd be able to see him throwing.
Yeah, you could definitely hear the flame up and the.
All right. Ooh. So I got a bam and a pow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11.
11, okay.
Yep.
You're going to be on top. I'm going to say, though, it's going to take both of your actions to teleport on in and get to this location. We'll see you.
Oh, yeah.
and to get in this turn. So
I-
you were up first with an 11, but you're into it now.
Yeah, I figured I'd have to teleport down to the door, and then if there's no window, or even if there is a window, I have to open the door and walk in. So
Yep. So you're in there, and you're however many feet you want to be up to them. You're there though for next time.
I walk in. And I just go, oh shit!
Yeah, you're in the middle of the fray now for sure. Heat stroke. We're back to you with a 10.
Okay. And what was it that happened to me? I only have one action this time.
No,
No,
everything would be a disadvantage
Oh,
because
okay.
the katana's the lightning of it just striking into you and weakening you.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Then I scream in pain a little bit. And would it take a turn to equip my cases, my weapons?
Your gloves that you have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if you want to do it, I mean, you get 2 actions. I'm gonna say it will take 1 action to get them involved in it or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Instead, you know what? Actually, I think I'll play it smart here a little bit. I'll just actually use my flight power to fly back to get some distance between me and this woman.
Let's see. She'll get an opportunity attack. Oh wait, that's another game.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll fly back, and then my second action will be bringing up my flames again. So if she hits me, she'll take 1 damage. She took 1 damage last time from hitting me. So
Yep, and I got that down.
and I only took 1 damage last time, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you took 1 point of normal damage as the katana struck into you, and then the disadvantage deal.
All right. Okay. Cool. So
You would have
yeah,
noticed the flames when it hit the suit. You would see the suit. You would think absorbed probably all of that or most of it. You could tell that whatever this suit is that she's wearing is probably helping protect her. You would just to let you know.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like my fire powers are going to be much good here.
But as you move back like that, we go down to her and she says, "Tis, you had to bring some help." Well, guess what? Janet. She yells, "Janet, you're going to see these 2 figures now are going to be facing y'all."
Oh no! She's a bad guy.
You see what you would think would be Janet. You can't see her face at all. She's wearing some type of mask deal, but she walks out wearing this all black suit, and it appears that she has these 2 katanas strapped across her back, but she's holding these 2 huge looking pistols, you would think. And the Rachel, her name is, I named her Ravishing Raider. The Ravishing Raider, she is going to speed off towards you again, heat stroke, and come down with these katanas, or try to. She will hit you 1 time, so you'll take 1 point of damage with the katana, and make a save again.
Disadvantage or regular?
You can normal again.
I made 1 success.
All right, you're able to stop the paralyzing effect or whatever of it, so you just take the 1 point of damage from them striking into you.
Mm-hmm.
You still have your shield up?
Yes. I don't think it's doing much good though.
Well, it should damage her.
Yeah, you see this time as your shield deal is still up, you would see as it strikes into her armor, she kind of lets out a like maybe this time it did do a little bit of damage to her. You see the person she calls Janet. You have no idea if it's Janet Reeves. You've never seen Janet before, but the person she calls Janet, she looks over and sees towards where you are, Skip Shot, and she holds one of the pistols up to you and she says, "You won't see me again." And it doesn't make a noise as she pulls the trigger, but you see this bullet come out and it lands in your area. As it does, you are covered in complete darkness surrounding you. Everything is completely dark now.
Oh, nice.
The second thing you're going to do, or you won't see it because you're in complete darkness, skip shot, but heat stroke, you see the person known as Janet, who I've also named Dark Speed. You see Dark Speed just poof. She's not there anymore where she was. And we are back up to you, skip shot, as you're looking at nothing but this area of darkness. You don't know how far it goes, of course, but it's surrounding you.
All right, so basically, I'm going to run straight ahead as hard as I can to see if I can run out of this darkness.
Yep, I'm going to say it'll take one of your actions to do that. Is you run far enough to actually get out, and then you're back into where you can see everything again.
So once I clear the darkness, I'm just going to immediately look up or wherever Ravishing Sword Lady is. And I'm just going
Yep, she's sitting there next to, of course, the heat stroke. She has it in for heat stroke, so she's sitting there in his vicinity.
So I'm going to pull my hand back, and there's going to be like this. It's like a red energy ball, and I'm just going to boom like that and throw it at her.
All right.
So I've got blast at level 1. So I can't. That's just for range. That's just going to be 2d6, right? Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's your master. Did you master in?
No, my mastery, because I wasn't sure exactly how to do it. I did proficient weapons, unarmed, mastered weapons, punches.
Okay, yeah, so it'll be standard 2d6 then.
Right. And so I did get one. I got a boom.
Yeah, and she's not expecting it. She's not worried about you. She, like I say, has a heat stroke, but as it hits into her, you hear her kind of gasp out again, and you see the armor absorb what you would think some of it, but she doesn't let her gasp.
Yeah. So, like I said, if I'm not, I don't know how the rule is. In here it says it can't be reduced, but I guess you said there is a thing that says it can't be reduced to less than 1, but it only does 1. So
yeah, and I'm kind of doing some.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it every once in a while it may do some damage. As you like to say, if she gasps out, but you hit her, and you're sitting there, and roll me another 2d6.
I got 2 pals.
Hey, great. You observe, of course, you've used your actions, but you observe now standing kind of behind where heat stroke is. You see the dark figure but holding the pistols. You see that what you would think she is, because she's covered up, but her figure is shaped like a female. You see her standing back behind heat stroke, and of course, she wasn't there a few minutes ago.
Am I able to shout anything?
Yeah, I'll give you action and shout out, sure.
I'll just be like, behind you, like that.
And we are up to you, heat stroke, as you hear that.
Okay. Can heat stroke just fly like straight up into the air and then just like throw a fireball down?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make.
It's gonna flying up would use one of your actions, but yeah, you could do that, and
Yeah.
then do the second one for that, sure.
And then the second one, I throw a fireball down. My fireball doesn't seem to be doing much good against Rachel. So So heat stroke is gonna attempt to toss one down at Janet and feel the burn, bitch. Let's see. And 1 success. So that 2 damage.
Yeah. Your deal absorbs and your deal hits her, and you can see that whatever type of suit she's wearing, that you would think that it absorbed part of it, but she lets out a gasp also. But you can see that possibly it didn't do quite as much as you thought it was going to do.
Okay. And if he can, heat stroke's just gonna like stay flying in the air for now.
Yeah, I mean, I would think you're
getting
still,
tired of getting hit by katanas.
no, but yeah, you're still in the air. That's fine. All right, we go to Raider. She sees you up in the air. You go up in the air, and she goes, "Be a little baby now. You won't come down, and I'm just a woman. Are you scared of me, boy?" She's taunting you, and if she does, she is going to speed straight into skip shot and try to just punch him.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. You're somehow able to dodge out of the way. So she kind of runs by you. Maybe if you sidestep her, that used her stuff. We go to dark speed. Janet. And as you hit her, she looks up towards you, where you are up in the air. And she says, tisk, tisk, fly boy, you won't see either. And she pulls one of the pistols. It doesn't make a noise, but she raises it up towards you. And you are up in the air, and you are covered in complete darkness now. You can't see anything. She looks over towards where Skipshot's standing, and she says, she just wanted to give you a kiss on the cheek. And she blasts a pistol at you, and you're in darkness again. We're back up to you, Skipshot, as you're standing there in darkness.
Well, the good news is that should mean that Ravishing Lady is in darkness too. So I am going to do the same thing again. I was going to try and blink out, but I can't see. So I'm just going to run. So if she was running, she ran at me to try and punch me and kind of ran.
She ran past you, kind of behind you, correct.
So I'm going to bolt off running as hard as I can right to where Janet or dark. You say it was dark speed.
Yep, dark speed. Yep.
Run as fast as I can toward dark speed.
Yeah, one action to get out of the darkness.
Okay, can I not get all the way to her in one action?
I'm going to say sure you can. Yeah, there's enough time you can get to her.
If I can get there, I want to try and get right up to her, and I'm just going to. I'll be like, oh, so you want to punch people in the face, and I'm just trying to go, pow! I feel so bad doing this. I feel like Deadpool. Is it sexist to hit you? Is it sexist to not hit you? I'm so cute.
Yep, you're able to reach her and try to punch her.
So in that case, I get 3d6. So I'm just trying to jack her to jump and stop shooting guns at me. There we go. And I got. Ooh, it's a good thing I got 1 POW.
Yep. You as you punch her, you see that it definitely jolts her and does some damage to her.
Yep. So I'm gonna jack her right in the face and go, bitch.
All right, heat stroke. You're up in the air. You can hear all the noise going down on the ground, but you're in total darkness right now.
Heat stroke cuts his fire, so he just drops out of the smoke cloud, hopefully, and hits the ground.
Yeah, you'll use one action. It's one action to get out of the darkness, the range of it.
And then does he see Janet?
You see her standing over there, kind of where Skipshot was prior. You see her still standing over there. She's kind of coming out of the edge of the darkness as it's dissipating. But yeah, you do see her standing over there.
Fireball.
Success. Okay, and it's 2 points.
2 points of damage. So
yeah, this time you see that it seems like maybe the way you hit her and stuff, the suit doesn't absorb anything.
Yeah, so like this time it's like he just cuts the flame and all of a sudden he just hits down and then like she looks back at him and he's just like holding his hand out at her and it's just like fireball appears and just like poof.
Yeah, as you hit her, she just kind of wipes it like she's wiping dust or dirt off her face and off her arms, and she just smiles at you and she super speeds straight over to you with those katanas. And she is going to miss. And let's see. Dark Speed is standing there next to where you just punched her shot. So you know what she is going to do? Let's see. First, she's going to say, "You bad boy, you're not supposed to beat up on women. That was what my last boyfriend did." And well, I won't tell you where I hit his body, but anyway, and she kind of poof, and you see that she's gone. But as maybe you're kind of looking around for her, you hear the kind of that energy pistol. You kind of hear it whir up again, and sure enough, you look to your side where she is teleported over also, and she pulls the pistol at you. And this blast comes out and hits you, and I mean, it's just like a forceful blast, and you'll take 1 point of damage.
All right.
And we're back up to you, Skip Shot.
All right. So she's over here to the side, right?
Yeah, she is teleported over to your side. I mean, she's still within range, but she's teleported over to your side.
I'm just going to look at her and say, oh, okay, you know what? Two people could play that game. And I'm going to blink and come in right behind her, facing her from behind. It's going to try and just go black right in the temple.
All right.
And I got a bam that time. One
Yeah,
bam.
you punch into her, and it seems to damage her. I mean, you kind of shake her up some more, for sure.
So I'm going to punch her right in the side of the head. And I don't even have anything weird to say. I'm so bad for doing this.
Heat stroke. We are back to you as you're being katanaed again.
Yeah, take that.
All right, yeah. So Heat Stroke seems to kind of be. He has a more serious look on his face now, like he's just sick of this shit. With one action, he pulls his Castus on, and then he comes up. Hadouken!
You beat me to it.
I got one success. Boom!
I was gonna actually do that if I ever did like a double attack. I was gonna go, oh no!
Oh, actually, I forgot. I was supposed to roll 3. Let's just see if I got 2 successes. I didn't. I got 1 success. Well, so
Yeah, you do some damage to her, it would seem.
yeah, I think my hits only do 1 damage, but still.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell it affected her.
Yeah.
And that was just one action, wasn't it? You still got one left?
Well, I thought you said that my Castus would be putting on my.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. Okay, you're right. The first time to put them on, so yeah, that would be right. Thank you for correcting me on that. So we go to her, and she says, "Oh, you're never gonna learn." She's sitting there next to you, katanas. The first strike will hit you, so take 1 point of damage and make a save.
Okay. Oh. Oh, I don't know that die. That dice is. No. Oh, there it is. No, I failed.
Yeah, you feel the weakness go through your body again, so in your next turn it'll be disadvantage, whatever you do. The second katana will strike into you also for 1 point of damage, but no save. You don't since you're already under the effect.
Okay.
We go to Dark Speed. She looks towards where you are, Skip Shot, and she says, "I'm tired of looking at your face." And she pulls out one of the pistols again and shoots towards you. And the deal somehow goes behind you, and you hear maybe 20 feet behind you, you hear boom. And you look behind you, and you see that area of darkness behind you, but it did not affect you. And she's going to pull out the second pistol, and she's going to shoot it towards you. And this time, another one of those like forceful just hits you, and you'll take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And we were back to you, Skip.
All right. So, all right. So nobody's in darkness right now, right?
Nope, the darkness bullet went past you and missed you.
Okay, so this is a warehouse. So is there like a second level in the warehouse with stuff stacked up on top of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big warehouse. Yep.
So I'm just going to look up to one of the things way up there, and I'm just going to teleport up. And then I'm going to try and focus on damn it. I don't want to stand right in her face. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to turn now that I see that. What's her name again? Ravishing.
Yeah, the Raider, Ravishing Raider. The Raider.
So she's been popped a couple of times. I'm going to just turn and try and just launch double shots at her and just see if we can focus her down.
All right.
So I know that I'm probably going to take a bit of an ass whooping from Dark Speed for this, but so be it. So the first one, I got 1 success, got a bam and a no. The second one, I got a pow and a bam.
All right, so you're just doing your blast at her.
Yeah. So it's 1 point each.
All right. You see the first one as it hits her, maybe kind of bounces off of her, and you don't think damaged her quite as much. But the second one appears that you got a good strike on her.
All right.
We are down to you, Heat Stroke, as you're standing there and see your companion helping you out.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for this bitch. Use my Castus again. Not as effective as a fireball, but a little bit more accurate. One success.
Yeah, you catch her off guard, and it seems to damage her, the first one.
Okay. And now I'm just going to take the evade action because I'm kind of getting a little bit low on health.
All right, you're going to evade, and that means when you if you get hit, you'll get to roll 1d6, right, to try to.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. We are up to her, the Ravishing Raider.
Oh wait, I forgot I was supposed to be at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's right. You were.
So,
So
I'll just roll one right now and
Yeah.
and redo it. No, I did not hit her.
all right, that's fine. Yeah, she is looking at you, and she's going to try to, of course, use these katanas since they seem to be working for her, and try to strike into you again the first time. Oh my gosh, it's almost like last night. Remember last night I had 3 6s? I just rolled two 5s and a 6. So the first katana strikes
I
him.
have an evade, right?
Yep. So you get to roll 1d6.
Nope. I fucked it up.
All right, you'll take 1 point of damage and make the save to see if it's going to affect you next time.
All right. Nope. Yeah, I mean, yes, it does. I didn't make it.
All right, so you'll be at disadvantage. The second katana she swings at you. Oh
Do
my
I
god!
get evade? Do I get evade again?
Well, she's not going to hit you. This time I rolled 2 1s and a 2.
Okay.
So the second one misses you bad. She's a little overconfident, maybe. Dark speed. Let's see. How high up do you think you are, Skip?
No, I didn't do that. Remember,
Oh, yeah, that's right. You changed your mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I used both attacks to try and focus down Ravishing Raider.
This is what Dark Speed is going to do. She looks towards you and she says, I told you I'm tired of looking at you. And she, poof, she's gone. And then you hear a rumbling and stuff above you. And you see that she's trying to push off this big, heavy box or something on top of you. And she will succeed. And this heavy box just falls and lands right on you, Skip Shot. And you'll take a point of damage.
Okay.
And she's probably, say, 20 feet above on like a second level above you now. And it is back to you, Skip.
Is there a third level?
No, there's just these 2 that you can see.
So I'm going to try and blink across the way, far from where Dark Shot is, and I'm going to take another shot at Raider.
All right.
And I got a bam and a pow.
All right. You take a shot at her, and it seems to maybe you found another weakness in the armor as it hits her into her. She doesn't seem to like it at all. Heat stroke.
Okay.
Like, burn the bitch.
Burn this mother down.
That's right.
Yeah. How far up is the person on top of the crates? How far up are they?
She's roughly 20 feet off the ground level, 20, 25 feet, something like that.
Could I possibly use my flames to hit one of the the legs of that tower she's standing on and cause it to collapse so that she'll fall?
Sure, I'll give you a chance, but I'm going to say, remember you're at disadvantage anyway, so but I'll give you a chance to see what maybe happen.
All right, I'm at disadvantage. Yeah, fuck it.
You can try it if you want to.
Now I'll just try swinging at this person twice.
All right.
1 fell, 1 and 2 fells.
Both of them are fails, okay?
Yeah.
Raider just smirks and smiles at you, and she says, "Why don't you just give it up?
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
You should have just stayed in after school detention or something. You just punk." And she swings the katanas. Oh, the first one will miss. The second one will hit, so you'll take 1 point of damage and make a save.
I mean, you're cheating with your stupid katanas anyway, so whatever. I actually succeeded.
All right, so you won't be at disadvantage next time, but you will take the 1 point of damage.
Yay.
Dark Speed is still up top. She looks towards. Let's see. She's going to look towards you, Heatstroke, because she heard what you called her friend, cussing her out. So she doesn't like that. And you see the pistol wind up, and she shoots towards you. Oh my gosh! And you feel a blast as it just hits you. You'll take 1 point of damage as the first blast of the pistol
I'm dead.
hits to you.
I'm dead.
That puts you at 0.
Yep.
All right. You are down, unconscious for right now, as far as we know. She looks towards you, Skipshot, and she says, "Join your friend." And she's going to shoot at you, and she's going to miss. Skipshot, we are back to you as you see Heatstroke go down to the ground for right now.
So I'm going to blink to where Raider is.
All right.
Right in front. Actually, to do the same thing, I'm going to try and blink in right behind her.
All right.
And do the same thing. I'm going to go for a temple shot.
Perfect.
And I am going to get a success. So
when you punch into her, she's sitting there, of course, kind of laughing and smirking over seeing Heatstroke on the ground. And she doesn't, of course, pay any attention to you. She's not worried about you. So she's just kind of smirking and laughing and knowing that she's won this. But as you land in behind her and you punch her in the right place, you hear her gurgle up, and she looks towards you and she goes, I don't know what you're going to do with me, but my father's going to have your superhero card before the week's over. She falls down to the ground unconscious.
Nice. Okay. Knockout. So, well, that's both of my actions.
There's nothing ravishing Raider. Let's see if she is unconscious, as far as you know. Dark Speed, you hear the poof, which you would know the noise, of course, the quick, maybe even just to your own ears, you hear the deal as you see her teleport down in front of you. And she has like holsters, so she holsters both those pistols, and she looks at you and she goes, It was all her. I was forced to do this. Please, just let me go. I can't go to villain prison. Please, just let me go. I promise it was all her. She forced me to do this, or she was going to hurt my family.
So I'm gonna light. Well, I guess I can't really light my hands the way he sure can, but I'm gonna create the energy balls like this, and just kind of look at her, and I'll say, "Drop the pistols on the ground."
Let's see what she does. She complies. She takes both of them out of the holsters and she just lays them. She says, "If I drop them, they may cause, I want to be gentle with them." And she lays them down.
All right, and then I tell her to step back, and then I take my foot and wedge it up next to Heatstroke's head. I'm not kicking him, but I'm trying to nudge his shoulder, right here. I'm like, "Wait, dude, wake up! Get up, dude! Get up, dude!" Like this, and I'm pushing on him with my foot, trying to see if I can get in.
Yeah, perfect timing. Heatstroke. Make a 2d6 test.
No, he's dead.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, he's dead. Whatever. I got 0 HP. That's the rules.
No, it's not. Did you not hear me before game when I described what we were doing on 0 HP?
He was using the other.
I'm using my own type. Roll 2d6, please.
I failed.
All right, you're still unconscious right now. Skip shot. You're trying to wake him up, but I mean he doesn't. I mean you can hear him breathing, but you don't. He's out of it.
Shit, I don't know if I should just let her go.
Yeah, I mean she's. You can tell she's definitely complying. She doesn't. Dark speed doesn't appear to be trying to do anything. You can tell she's scared out of her wits. Probably just. I mean, you can't see her face, of course, still with the covering she has in her.
So I'm basically going to tell her, because the last thing I need to do if I'm trying to get heat stroke up is to have her mess with me. I'm going to tell her leave the guns, and I'm going to point at her and just tell her to get the hell out of here. And I better not ever see you again, kind of a thing.
She doesn't hesitate. You see her run and jump in like the little small compact car that was in the warehouse. You see her run and jump into it and take off. She's gone if you let her go.
Yep. And then I'm going to drop down and immediately, instead of nudging, I'm going to actually drop down and try to actually help him heat stroke to get him back up. If there's any kind of if I see any we're in a warehouse. If there's any jugs of water or anything like that, I want to try and get him up before Raider comes to.
Yeah, roll me skip shot. Roll me 3d6 and see if you get a success.
Yes.
You are able to make heat stroke drink some water and cool down and get him back to conscious at 1 HP or 1 stress, whatever it's called. Heat stroke, you're back awake as you see your friend Skip Shot bringing you back up.
Cool.
So as he's coming to, we'll try to get figure out some way to get Ravishing Raider secured.
Yeah, she's still out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's tie her hands up.
Yeah, you probably got villain cuffs that you're able to get her secured. Maybe that whatever y'all have would secure them enough where hopefully none of their powers will work if they do come back to conscious.
And then I guess call the police.
Yeah, speaking of that, it's pretty much this ends our scenario known as pump you up. So Skip Shot, tell me how it's going to end for Skip Shot and how you're going to handle the Ravishing Raider. So continue, please.
Hold on. Okay. So once everybody is together, and of course he's beat up pretty good too. I didn't have much health left either. So basically he's going to take the guns, of course. And I'm just going to tell the cops that I said we need to study these. These aren't normal pistols. And so I'm going to basically I'm making the assumption that we'll be able to find the stuff probably in the warehouse once they get her tied up or whatever. And after it gets heat stroke up and everything's good to go, he is going to the way it went in for him was he wants to learn how to use these pistols because he thinks they're just the coolest damn thing he's ever seen. And also because of the fact that Janet knows how to do pretty much, she uses pistols, but she pretty much has the same power that he does. He's actually going to start actively trying to find her. And I don't know if you would consider it to become his arch nemesis. I guess that depends on if she continues to try and be bad. But he wants to try and find her and either bring her to justice or bring her into the fold. Find out, if it really was that. What was the lady's name? The actual lady's name? The daughter?
Janet Reeves or,
No, that's
or
the
Rachel
one.
Wilson.
Miss Wilson. What was her name?
Yep, Rachel Wilson, the
Rachel.
daughter of the Wilson Labs founder. Yes.
If Rachel really was the one that was like putting her up to all this, then maybe he sees the chance that he can talk some sense in her and talk her into trying to use her powers for good as well. So that'd be how it would end for Skip Shot.
All right, perfect. Sounds like some stuff to maybe bring into a future story then. Heat stroke. Why don't you tell us how it's going to end for Heat stroke after he is recovered?
Yeah, he feels pretty embarrassed about having lost a fight, but it was all because of those stupid katanas. He'll take those katanas in his hands and he'll just flame up and just freaking heat those katanas up to the point that they fucking melt.
I would be like, dude, you could have kept them and used those.
No, I'm not going to use cheap ass fucking equipment. Like, fuck that.
It couldn't be that cheap. It took you down.
Yeah, well, no, I mean like cheap as in like this isn't the kind of stuff something someone who actually wants to fight should use. Like, these aren't
She fights dirty, no doubt.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna keep dirty fucking shitty weapons. Like, yeah, so he'll heat those up to the point that they are melted and cannot be freaking used again. He probably kicks her in the ribs one time because she really pissed him off. We want to fight dirty. Well, fine, bitch. And and then he just kind of flies off and starts doing the thing again. I mean, like actually, before the police are off, he'll actually search the warehouse and see if he can find any of this adrenaline. And if he can, he might just keep a couple samples for himself. Those were missing when we got here. Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't have seen that because I was too busy fiddling with the guns. So, but I would offer Heat Stroke. I'd be like, hey, man, you can't, these things aren't always going to be easy. We'll go to the bar, we'll get some drinks.
Yeah.
And I promise you'll feel better when it's all over with.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't consider that a loss to her. I lost to those cheap katanas.
Okay, well,
if she ever wants to face me again with actual, on a fair combat, I'll kick her ass. Like, no problem.
She's going to jail, dude. We're just, let's just go have some drinks and we won the day, and we're heroes, dude. Like total heroes. Trust me, they nobody saw you fall down. And I won't say anything, I promise.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I will not say anything.
Yeah, sounds good.
She shot me in the face with a gun. How do you think I feel? If I didn't have this hockey mask on, I'd be good God.
Yeah. Let's just go get a couple of skirts and call it a night.
Yeah, so now I'm going to tell y'all how the story's really going to end.
Yes.
Ravishing raider, known as Rachel Wilson, is taken to villain prison, wherever that is, and she doesn't give up any information. Being the person she is, they can't break her. She doesn't tell them any information about what she was up to or what she was behind. Of course, y'all are able to recover the crate of synthetic adrenaline, and if Heat Stroke wanted to take a vial or two of it, he could have done that. That's fine. Maybe a few days later, you go back to Janet Reeves, where she was living. The old man tells you a moving truck come in, and she told him that she was moving back to where her family's from. Janet is gone for now, but Janet may make an appearance and come back into some future episodes, hopefully. We'll see where that goes to. Ravishing Raider was actually based on, if anybody recognizes her photos I use, was a character is called Ravager is her name. That's who Ravishing Raider was
It
based
looked
on.
it looked like a for a minute. It looked like a female version of Slade with the mask. So I don't know comics well enough to know, but that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah, I kind of thought Slade at first too. I'm sure they
Yeah.
took inspiration from Slade.
So that was kind of cool when I saw that. I'm like, oh crap, it's a female Slade. This is going to be terrible. And sure enough, it was.
Yeah,
That
man. Basically, what the deal that she's the deal I found for her was with, I think it's with mutants and masterminds. So I just took all her abilities, and changed them over to tiny supers for her for
oh,
Ravager.
okay. Yeah,
Dark Speed was actually a creation of my own. I found that picture. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted, so I found that picture today that I used for her, and I just made up all her stuff. Dark Speed was my own creation.
yeah. I thought it was
Um,
funny that they were almost. I used red. Energy bolts, but she used pistols. So it's like we both had the same power, teleport and blast.
yeah, that's what I say. Y'all were pretty much the same, and which was funny because last night's game, Crystal's nemesis was kind of had things that she could use against, so it's kind of weird how this is playing out. But
So
yeah, that pretty much winds up the adventure is pump you up using tiny supers, and we'll see where the story leads from here. Thanks to Rush for playing Skip Shot, and thanks to Crystal for playing Heat Stroke. I will end our broadcast, and we can visit a minute.
awesome. And wait till